Hello everyone, I am J. Albinovins from Holy Cross College Autonomous Nagarkoil. The topic of today's video is DNA or genetic material. First, let me share a general introduction about DNA. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. It is the predominant genetic material for all living organisms. It is the basic unit of life. This is a molecule that makes every individual unique. It serves as a blueprint for humans. It determines certain traits like height, color of eyes, etc. It possesses almost all the information about the development, living process, and even reproduction strategies. DNA is a reservoir in which genetic material passes from the parents to the offsprings. Hence, DNA is considered as a hereditary material. It is called as hereditary material because it is more stable than RNA molecule. In RNA, oxygen is present at second carbon, which makes it unstable. Human DNA has about 3 billion bases and more than 99% of bases are same in all the people. This information was taken from United States National Library of Medicine NLM. These base pairs reside in 23 pairs of chromosome within the nucleus of our cell. Each chromosome has 100 to thousands of genes that carry instructions of proteins. Almost 30,000 genes makes an average of 3 proteins. DNA will create different proteins and make the cell to react in different ways. Now, let's know the historical background of DNA. Actually, DNA was identified in late 1860s by the Swiss chemist Friedrich Miescher. He first identified nuclein from the pus cells. This was the landmark for genetic research. Then, Phoebus Levin and Erwin Chargaff carried out many efforts and explained the chemical components of DNA. During 1940s, it's really very difficult among the biological scientists to accept DNA as a genetic material due to the simplicity of its structure. Early in 1950s, DNA was first analyzed by X-ray diffraction, and that resulted the presence of two strands wounded into helix formation. This paved way for the American biologist James Watson and English physicist Francis Crick to study the structure of DNA in 1953. Nobel Prize was awarded to them during 1962. The first report of nucleotide sequence with a length of 24 base pair was given by Gilbert and Maxam in 1973. In 1977, Frederick Sanger and Walter Gilbert published DNA sequencing and shared Nobel Prize in 1980. In 1988, pyrosequencing was introduced by Ronaghi, Ullman and Nyren. In 2005, next generation sequencing was adopted by Margulis, and in 2014, use of reversible terminator chemistry was introduced by Zimmerman et al. In this part, we are going to know about some basic differences in prokaryotic and eukaryotic DNA. DNA is present in the nucleus of eukaryotes and cytosol of prokaryotes. Only a small fraction of DNA is active in prokaryotes, in eukaryotes, and only a small loop of DNA is present in the nuclei of prokaryotes. Prokaryotic DNA are much simpler than eukaryotic DNA. DNA present in eukaryotes has histone proteins, but histone proteins are absent in prokaryotes. Eukaryotic DNA are very tightly packed and organized, but prokaryotic DNA has a single loop of chromosomal DNA. Now let's move to DNA nucleotides. The building blocks of nucleic acid are known as nucleotides. Nucleotides that compose DNA are known as deoxynucleotides. The three main components of nucleotides are deoxyribose sugar, that is, it is a 5-carbon sugar, usually a pentose sugar. Next is nitrogenous bases. It is a nitrogen containing ring structure that is responsible for complementary base pairing between nucleic acid strands. The nitrogenous bases adenine and guanine are purines. They have a double ring structure and 6-carbon ring fused to 5-carbon ring. Cytosine and thymine are very small nitrogenous bases. They possess only a 6-carbon ring structure. Purines share double hydrogen bonds and pyrimidines share triple hydrogen bonds. Third one is phosphate group. Nucleotides are joined with each other by covalent bonds, which forms in between the sugar of first nucleotide and phosphate of next nucleotide. The whole formation is known as sugar-phosphate backbone. Polynucleotides are bound together by hydrogen bonds and the two strands of DNA are anti-parallel. During polymerization, deoxynucleotide triphosphate, that is DNTPs, are used. How phosphodiester bonds are formed? Phosphodiester bonds forms between the phosphate group attached to 5' carbon of one nucleotide and the hydroxyl group of 3' carbon in the next nucleotide. This brings polymerization of nucleotides. Next, it is very essential to know about Chargaff's rule. Austrian chemist Erwin Chargaff discovered this rule for DNA. It states that DNA from any cell of the organism must possess 1:1 ratio of purine and pyrimidine bases. Also, the amount of guanine is equal to cytosine and the amount of adenine is equal to thymine. And this characteristic feature is seen in both these strands. This slide clearly explains the structure of DNA, that is Watson and Crick model. DNA has two long polynucleotide chains. Each chain is known as DNA chain or DNA strand. It has a double helix shaped like a ladder. In fact, the two strands are entwined as a right-handed double helix. Each strand is composed of only 4 types of bases like adenine, cytosine, guanine and thymine, which resemble one another chemically. The bases of one strand of DNA molecule will pair together with complementary bases on opposite strands of DNA. Each strand has 5' as starting and 3' as an end. The two strands will run anti-parallelly to each other. One strand moves 5' to 3', that is known as sense strand, and the other strand moves 3' to 5', that is known as anti-sense strand. The diameter of helix is 20 Armstrong. Each chain makes a complete turn of every 34 Armstrong. The bases are 3.4 Armstrong apart along the helix axis and related by a rotation of 36 degrees. Each turn has 10 nucleotide residues. The phosphate and deoxyribose units are found on periphery region of the helix. The purine and pyrimidine bases occurs in the center. The two chains are held by hydrogen bonds. Adenine always pairs with thymine by 2 hydrogen bonds and guanine always pairs with cytosine by 3 hydrogen bonds. The individual hydrogen bonds are really weak in nature. The stability is by van der Waals forces between the planes of staked bases. Pairing always occurs between adenine and thymine and guanine and cytosine. This is due to steric and hydrogen bonding forces. As a result of double helical nature of DNA, the molecule has two asymmetric grooves. One groove is smaller than the other. This asymmetry is a result of geometrical configuration of bonds between the phosphate, sugar and base groups. This event forces the base groups to attach at 120-degree angle instead of 180-degree angle. The larger groove is known as major groove. It occurs when backbones are far apart. The smaller groove is known as minor groove. It occurs when they are close together. Since the major and minor grooves expose the edges of bases, the grooves are used to express the base sequence DNA. Some of the evidences for Watson and Crick model of DNA structure are: first one, X-ray diffraction studies; second one, direct examination and measurements of DNA under electron microscope; third one, physicochemical data based on the effect of temperature on DNA; fourth one, enzymatic digestion studies; and fifth one is enzymatic synthesis of DNA. The important specific properties of DNA are: point number 1, DNA can be right-handed or left-handed. The B DNA possesses right-handed helices and it is more stable. Point number 2, on heating, the two strands of DNA separate from each other and it is known as denaturation. On cooling, the two strands can hybridize, which is known as renaturation. Point number 3, the melting temperature is very specific for each specific sequences. Point number 4, B DNA possesses more GC content and hence it has high melting point. Point number 5, the bases of DNA absorb UV light at 260 nanometer. Point number 6, the density of DNA can be measured by cesium chloride density gradient ultracentrifugation and it is used to find out G plus C content and also in satellite DNA, etc. Point number 7, DNA has a negative charge and it is proportional to its size. This is the central dogma concept. It is the process in which instructions of DNA are converted into a functional product. It has three processes. First is replication, that is synthesis of new DNA from the existing DNA. Second is transcription, that is synthesis of an RNA copy of a segment of DNA. Third is translation, that is synthesis of functional protein from RNA. Finally, the functions of DNA are: it acts as an energy store for facilitating the transit of DNA polymerase and RNA polymerase. It is a long-term information store of genetic material. It is important for inheritance and coding for proteins. It is the genetic instruction guide for life and its process. It has a unique replication process which is essential for transfer of genetic information from one cell to its daughter cell and from one generation to another generation. As DNA occurs inside the chromosome, which is essential for equal distribution of DNA during cell division, DNA give rise to mRNAs by transcription and production of protein by translation. Thanks to everyone for listening this video. If you understand and like this video, please subscribe it. Thank you once again.